this is the rebellious discipline for us queer people. Now, this level feels a whole lot more powerful. But of course, it's also very reactive. Now, this is the level where we just want to burn the whole world down. And we want to deconstruct everything, whether that's religion, our family norms, gender rules, how people see you from, this level. And really here, it's all about unlearning and detoxing those programmings that we have from society. So really, it's about us rebelling. This is where we come out. This is where we say, no longer am I going to censor myself. No longer am I going to be pleasing everybody else. No longer I'm going to be trying to take off all of these masks that I've had to be, wearing through the years of, repression that I've had from.
Welcome to the Queer Quest podcast, your beacon of light and sprinkle of glitter in the queer community. I'm your host, Christiano Green, CEO and founder of Queer Quest and a transformation coach for queer individuals. And together, we are embarking on a journey of transformation. Each week, we bring you a new training topic or connecting with visionary queer leaders in healing and coaching. Diving deep into conversations that inspire growth, celebrate diversity, and empower you to live authentically. So wherever you are, settle in and let's get ready to unlock the vibrant potential within. This is where your quest begins.
Hello, all you fabulous souls, and welcome to the Queer Quest podcast. I'm the friend and host, Christiano Green, and today we are going to be talking about the 5 levels of queer self-discipline. Now, I know we probably talked about self-discipline before, and we all, have that, view that it is, restricted and it's rooted in productivity and punishment, even patriarchy, right? We are told what we need to be disciplined in. And I'm going to be coming at, self-discipline today from the queer perspective, from our experiences, so that we can understand the 5 different levels that we go through. And maybe we're still on that journey to going through, so that we can enjoy our life in ways that are fruitful, that are honoring ourselves as well. So we wanted to start with asking a specific question. So the question is, what if self-discipline wasn't about control, but it was about devotion to your truth? I know for me that, before I came out, I've felt a strong sense of self-discipline in the sense of showing up and trying to hide who I was as a gay man. I pretended to fit into society's mold. And for me, there was a lot of self-discipline in order for me to put up that facade so that people wouldn't look at me. I mean, of course they did. It's very hard to hide something innately, especially when you have kids in the playground bullying and picking on things like that, which is what happened to me. But I still, even throughout all of that, I still tried to have as much self-discipline as possible in order for me to put up the facade so that people, I could have can hide in the background, could fade into the abyss, because if you're not seen, you're not picked on. So I had a lot of self-discipline around how I navigated and maneuvered the world. And that was very, filled with shame and a lot of restriction. And, when, I really evaluated my life, I went through my own journey and got to a place where I am now, I realized that the self-discipline that I go through now is more on a journey of healing, on protecting my peace and following my heart. And I do a lot of things in my day-to-day life that a lot of people would class as self-discipline. But for me, I feel like I've gotten to a level where I would class it as a level of freedom, because I'm choosing all of the things that I'm doing. Yes, I'm disciplined in them, but it doesn't necessarily feel like a chore, like I've pushed myself to do these things, because there's a sense of freedom within that. So we're going to talk today about the 5 different layers of it, so we can come from the queer lens and the spiritual lens as well, because again, this is relatable to us as queer people. We really understand that queer people, our community, has often been disciplined by society, whether that's for being too much, too soft, too loud, too different. And we've gone on the journey to navigate ourselves in a way where maybe we feel that way. We feel disciplined. We feel restricted by society. Or maybe we've gone a few levels deeper. And of course, today we're going to be talking about how we can really reclaim self-discipline or discipline in general as an act of sacred self-sovereignty, which is honoring ourselves as well. And instead of denying ourselves as well. So let's really start with the first level of what I call the queer self discipline. And that level is called survival discipline. So to be quite fair, pretty much every queer person is going to begin here. This is the self-censoring, the masking, the people-pleasing, the level of us really like I shared in my journey of actually navigating the world and really, like I said, putting masks on, putting on layers of censorship, people-pleasing, perfectionism, all of the things that we do in order to have people to try to control the narrative of how people see us. So this is us, early on in our life is seen as survival discipline because really before we came out, we did not feel any sense of safety around who we were and these internalized thoughts and feelings and emotions and experiences that we were having. And at one point, we were really, truly denying all of who we are in that level when it came to our gender, our sexuality, in those realms. And so because of that, we had a level of self-discipline that was based on survival, based on censoring how you speak, what you say, who you look at, who you hang around. You put on masks to kind of be the funny guy, to be the smart kid, to be the athletic person. Because again, you're trying to have other people see you as maybe the perfect son, the perfect student, the perfect athlete, the perfect friend. Because if we are those perfect things, we're pleasing them. And they're also not seeing the thing that we see as a deficiency, as a weakness, which is our sexuality or our gender that's non-conforming. And so in this level 1, we are dealing and, processing the trauma that we have around our sexuality or gender. We're pushing it down, internalizing all of those feelings and the emotions and the thoughts, and then trying to project a level of mask and level of censorship around how we come across. So it's that high level of discipline here, like that kind of comes down to the behaviors of, like I said, perfectionism and hyper independence, where we are living in a world where we really do not trust or feel safe around anybody. And that means that we have a high level of independence around ourselves because we feel that's a way of protecting ourselves, taking care of ourselves, and just kind of not allowing anyone into our inner world because we don't trust people. That's kind of the layer of the survival discipline. Now, I want people to realize that if you're here now, we've all been there. And being here, there's nothing wrong with it. There's not a wrong, like this level is not a deficiency to us. It's actually served us very well as we went through our journey of growth and evolution, and healing, because this level, well, like I said, level 1, the survival discipline, every single queer person would have gone through this level. You can't skip it. You don't start at level 2 and be good like that. There is no skipping this level. So I want us to understand that, we shouldn't be looking at it with a place of like, oh my God, like pity or whatnot. We should have more compassion for ourselves if we're here or, as we look back on our journey, because the version of ourselves that was in this survival discipline did it, as you said, out of survival to try to really, save themselves from harm, from heartache, from more trauma. Because growing up as a queer person has a high level of trauma attached to it, because again, internalized experiences then meet the external world those things can have a whole lot of stuff. So being level 1 means you are in that survival discipline there, trying to survive the world, navigating it, pretending to be something that you're not, masking it, censoring yourself, perfectionism, people pleasing, hyper independence, all that stuff there. Again, all went through it, but we do evolve. We do evolve. And level 2, this is a important level. And I think it's one that we can all really understand and navigate as well. This is the rebellious discipline for us queer people. Now, this level feels a whole lot more powerful. But of course, it's also very reactive. Now, this is the level where we just want to burn the whole world down. And we want to deconstruct everything, whether that's religion, our family norms, gender rules, how people see you from, this level. And really here, it's all about unlearning and detoxing those programmings that we have from society. So really, it's about us rebelling. This is where we come out. This is where we say, no longer am I going to censor myself. No longer am I going to be pleasing everybody else. No longer I'm going to be trying to take off all of these masks that I'd have to be, wearing through the years of, repression that I'd had from, the internal world that I've lived in. And now it's taking off the masks and trying to say F you to everyone and deconstructing all of those, like I said, the societal constructs of religion, family norms, gender roles, all the cultural, stuff that happens around you, your environment, your family, society, and just saying, look, no, this is my time to come out, to be who I am. But of course, that level of discipline is great. But again, it does come with the it being quite a reactive level there. Because again, as we know, when we really come out of the closet, sometimes we springboard out and we just are done. And it's like a huge, it's like a firework. It's a big explosion. And that can last for years, sometimes decades, depending on your level of growth and understanding and where you're at. And, because this is the level of going through those, almost going through like a second adolescence for people who never really experience that, when we have people who are from maybe 25, 30, 40, come out, like I said, at a bit of a later stage in life. I'm not saying that's late in general, but you know what I'm saying? Is what happens is when you come out, you kind of have this second adolescence, you kind of relive your youth in a sense. And so this is that rebellious discipline where you're like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to explore the party world, or I'm going to explore the gay scene, or the, what it's like to live as a non-binary person or a transgendered person. And you really kind of jump into that world and you kind of separate it. It's almost like you say, look, you know what, this is the world that I'm consuming now. And again, it's me trying to, like I said, really burn down all of the old books that I've been, told are my truths. And really trying to navigate how it is that I should live. So the discipline here is really saying no as a sacred act. It's all about you getting to, like I said, be rebellious towards society, towards your family, towards all the constructs that have been put on you, and just learning to say F you and no to the rest of the world as such.
Are you ready to embark on a journey of transformation that's uniquely yours? Welcome to QueerQuest, the world's first and best personal development platform created by and for the queer community. Imagine a space where your authenticity isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. A place where you can grow, learn, and thrive alongside a vibrant community that understands you. At QueerQuest, we're more than just a platform. We're a family. Connect with like-minded individuals, share your stories, and empower each other to reach new heights. Our tailored courses are designed to address the unique experiences of the queer community, from self-love and confidence building to career advancement and beyond. We've got you covered. It's time to step into your power and transform your journey. Join us today at courses.queerquest.vip, see what we're all about, and sign up to begin your quest.
Then what happens is we move into the third level of self-discipline. Now, this is the value-based discipline. So we're moving from a reactionary response to more conscious choices. This is us getting to a place where, yeah, we've done some of the healing work, we've done some of the growth in the areas that are important to us. We've kind of navigated and seen how we are in our world, and we kind of pick and choose which ones are going to stick, and then which ones that we maybe need to evolve and say, look, you know what? I've jumped in head first, and now I need to get back up to the surface and really see how I want to live my life based on my values, based on your values. I'll repeat that again, based on your values. This is not a reactionary. You're not escaping from anything. You're not running from it. You're not trying to fight against society. This is really about you maybe saying, you know what, I'm in a life. I've created a career for myself. I'm following a path. Now I'm going to set up some things that work for me, such as morning rituals, setting emotional boundaries with people, honoring your body. Maybe you're getting into exercise, but doing it from a sense of like wanting to be healthy instead of wanting to look amazing so that you can have a lot of sex. Because again, nothing wrong with that, but that's a different level of self-discipline sometimes. You want to be viewed as an attractive person so that you can have a lot of sex. That is a different level of self-discipline. That's more of the reactionary, right? Whereas in this level, we're talking about honoring a body. Maybe I'm creating a workout routine that really honors me and my health and moving forward in my life in those ways. So this might be that you get up in the morning and you go for a nice long walk, or you decide that you want to sit in some silence for some time, like whatever it is. It's about creating a routine and some disciplines around your life that really relate to your values, as values that you are that you hold as yourself, but the values that you live by as well. So this is, like I said, moving into what I would say discipline becoming a loving daily practice, not a punishment. Now, this is, like I said, where you start to move into consciously choosing what you're doing instead of reacting. Like your discipline is not based on those reactions to kind of breaking down the societal norms. It's moving into really more of a conscious choice that you want to make for your life based on who you are, your values, and how you want to show up in the world for that. So that's level number 3. Then we move to level number 4, which is the soul-led discipline. Now, this is where we are allowing our life to be led by following our soul, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable. This is us having a deeper knowledge, a deeper knowing in our heart and soul that this is the path for me. Maybe this is a career change that you're going through. Maybe this is, you're leaving a relationship. Maybe this is a higher level of coming out. Maybe before you'd only come out to the specific, group of people. Maybe this is a deeper level of that, This is the part where you say, look, I know that this career or this relationship has not been serving me, and my soul is telling me that I need to do some things to change that. So I need to go on a deeper journey of healing. Maybe I'm going to be doing some inner work, some inner child work, some shadow work, some forgiveness, holding myself accountability for some of the things that I've done. I know for myself, where I was here, around me having to, because before I'd done the value-based things where I changed a lot of stuff. I went through, where I was drinking a lot, taking a lot of drugs, and I made some discipline around that for myself, around my health and my, that related to values. But as I went down that journey, what I found was that it was a very healing journey. It was all about forgiving myself and taking accountability for the things that I've done in the past that, I felt like I wasn't proud about. And so honoring my soul and having discipline meant that I was ready to do the work, and I was putting discipline in my life and restructuring my life around the healing, the growth, and taking my life in a direction that really served me. This led to me shifting my career, moving out of the corporate world, getting into coaching, and following what I wanted to do for so many years, but just been holding myself back from. So for me, this was the deeper level of me really taking accountability of my life, and also then honoring that and trying to gain forgiveness from other people for the wrongdoings that I'd had in past, friendships or situations, especially when it was all fueled with alcohol and drugs. There was a lot of shame and guilt that I had around those situations. And so for me, I was able to take accountability, move forward in that. And that was really a lot of this level. It was me putting the discipline into taking the accountability, to doing the work, to doing the healing and taking my journey further. Now, of course, here, this really moved from it being a sense of discipline to really becoming what I call spiritual integrity. This was me living my life in a level of integrity that was aligned to my own spiritual beliefs and my spiritual understanding of the world, and trying to live as much as possible to my highest level of integrity in that path. Meaning that what I really feel and believe is how I live my life, is what I speak my truth about, and I don't try to deny myself those things. And if I feel like something is going against that, I have the discipline to set the boundaries of that. I have the discipline to walk away from a relationship that I no longer serve me. Because before, I would put up with that. I would be people pleasing. I would want people to like me and to love me and to value me. Whereas in this level, it's that deep level of me truly valuing who I am, what I'm doing, and where I'm going in my life. So that's really level 4, which is the soul-led discipline. Now, the 5th level, this is the highest level of queer self-discipline. And this is what I call integrated freedom. So this is really about, when self-discipline, it just becomes embodied. It's not necessarily like, oh my God, I'm going to have to do X, Y, and Z. And it's the thing that are going to tick off my list if I'm going to be a good person, or I will do discipline if I'm going to be a healthy person, or if I'm going to be, have this kind of a career. It's this when you start living authentically as who you are. And that means your life starts to, maneuver itself in those ways. You don't really need to force yourself anymore to do the things. You choose to, you want to show up because you love your life. And so that means that you get up at 5:30 so you can do your things, to get to the gym, to have the kind of life that you want to have. We've created every part of it. And that means you have freedom. Because again, I might have been doing things in the past for health and fitness to try to look good, try to counteract the years of treating myself poorly, to do what I think society expects of me. But now I'm doing it for me and my own goals and my own life, and making health and wellness and fitness. It's a little part of who I am and my life, So it's a shift from, feeling forced to do something to embodying it. It's part of my life. I enjoy it. I've created these things in a way that sets up the life the way that I want. So it's not a chore anymore. Of course, there are days where it's going to be, which is where the deeper level of self-discipline comes into it. But I'm not on those days where I feel like I have to be more disciplined and feel it. It's still something that I'll desire to do. It's not I have to do it. It's that, I am showing up even when I'm not feeling good enough or not feeling, energized enough. I'm doing it because it is pivotal to how I see my life, to my values. And from that place, it creates some freedom in my life as well. And this kind of looks at it from the level of life becoming a ritual. Every decision, whether that's from what you eat to who you love, these are all intentional. So I am not being reactive to the rest of the world. I know my values. I know my, what I believe in spiritually. And because of that, it's allowing me to navigate all of the choices in my life to being something that, again, I embody and are intentional, because I know in doing those, it's going to continue to create me saying, look, I love myself. I honor myself. I value myself. So I'm going to make choices that are good for me, for my body, for my future, for my relationships, And that's really, really, really what I would class as queer liberation in motion. This is a life aligned with your truth. Living a lot of your life, integrating freedom into it. Because again, you still know that I have a choice to do those things. And again, we are all human. We are not perfect. So there are times when maybe I don't 100%, stick to it. But I also know that me not sticking to it is a choice that I've made. And sometimes that is coming from an emotional trigger, emotional wound, emotional hunger. For example, when I eat something that I know is not necessarily good for me, but in the moment it's to avoid a certain thing or to shift an emotion or to, and in doing so, I may eat the thing, but I also have the awareness to realize why I'm doing it and then maybe figure out, is there a way that I can, not do that in the future? Or if I'm doing that, is it be a choice? Like, am I allowing myself to have these things? Everything becomes more of a deeper intentional choice that we make. And again, you can have situations that come up, but you get to choose where you're going. Do I choose to be good today? Do I choose to have a bad day? Knowing that it's all intentional at the end of the day. How do I evolve that? And that's what I think this highest level of queer self-discipline is all around freedom. Now, really, there's a lot of things throughout here that we've talked about that will help you evolve through B levels. Because again, you might be sitting at one of these levels going, yep, I get it. I get all the levels. I get the survivor one. I get the rebellious one. I get the value-based one. I get the soul-led one. And I get the freedom one. But I find that I'm stuck between rebellious and value-based. And I keep floating between the two. But I definitely love the idea of my life being, more around soul-led or, freedom-led. And I want to understand what I need to do. So what are some of the things that we can do that's going to help you to go on a journey that might help you move that? This is where we talk about our personal development and queer personal development, whether this is, in a child healing, shadow work, dealing with rage or anger issues, finding what your soul purpose is and following that there, or really having some divine embodiment. There's so many different spiritual practices out there that support self-discipline. And so some of the things that I would say would be key for you, and I've shared a lot of this on my Instagram and my Facebook and TikTok, etc. I try to give a lot of tips on where people can do this. But some of the self-discipline things that I think would be important to help move you up the ladder in self-discipline and in getting to a place of like living with more freedom and within your choices would be things such as meditation, movement, getting out and about, like whether that's finding something that you enjoy doing, whether it's yoga, or could be dancing, or could be going for a nice run. These kinds of things, getting out and about, sometimes will allow you to switch off the mind and also go on a deeper journey of self-awareness because it's just you in those moments as well, right? Could be journaling. I love journaling as a way for you going deeper into your thoughts and your feelings and really dissecting those things. And then just like, again, that helps you to understand the things that are up here, putting them onto paper as well. Having some kinds of rituals in your life, whether those around pleasure and peace. Like what rituals can you put in your life that you love, that are sacred to you? Things, even deeper stuff where you can, go on journeys of like past lives or ancestral connection and just healing, things like that. Those are deeper ways for you to be able to do that. And so I've got some questions because I believe journaling is a key point. So I want to ask some questions that I think are pivotal and important for you to ask yourself, again, if you're someone who wants to really progress. The first one is just being aware of where you're at. So which level of self-discipline are you in right now? Are you in the survival discipline? Are you in the rebellious discipline? Are you in the value-based discipline? Are you in the soul-led discipline? Or are you in the integrated freedom level of discipline as well? So which level of self-discipline are you in right now? That will be key because, again, self-awareness means we know where we are at. Next question is, where do you feel resistance around the word discipline? Because, again, throughout history, where we've heard the word discipline, so many, I know for myself and many of the clients that I've worked with, say discipline sounds like a really negative, dirty word. So, oh my God, this feels like a lot of hard things that I have to do. And it's like, where's the reward? Discipline. Oh, I can't eat the cake. Oh, I'm going to have to work out for 2 hours. Oh, I'm going to do 15,000 steps. Oh, I'm going to set boundaries. It doesn't, it's key to when you look at discipline there as well. So where do you feel resistance around the word discipline? That will help you navigate as well. And then finally, what look like, what would it look like to make self-discipline a devotional practice in your life? Meaning that it is something sacred towards you. It's not a negative thing, but it is something sacred, and it's something that you make a big pivotal part of your life. Because if you can see what it would look like, then maybe you'll be able to see what's the next step for you to be able to do that as well. So I really invite you all to reflect on the 5 levels and the questions that I've asked, because I really think it's going to help you to progress in your own life. Now, really, what I would love for you to be able to do as well is to share your thoughts or experiences below. Comment, share this, add someone in it, write a review, because you being able to do that is you being able to put it out in the universe where you're at, and also continue the conversation. I love hearing from you. What it also does is it boosts the algorithm, meaning that other people in the queer community are going to see this episode, and maybe this is the one episode they really need to hear in order for them to move up the next level of their journey when it comes to queer self-discipline. So if you could do any of those things, it would be great for you and great for them, and or a win-win-win for everybody as well. Now, of course, if you're someone who is also ready to evolve your relationship with self-discipline and you need some support in that, and you want to do that in a way that feels powerful, sacred, and of course, queer AF, come join us inside Queer Quest Pro. I'm going to link it below. It's a 12-month program. Literally, we focus on every single aspect of you as a queer person, whether that's your physical health, emotional health, mental health, spiritual side, your career, your finances, your cultural background, your identity, your social relationships, your intimate relationships, your activism, your contribution, and of course, your joy. All those things make up who you are as a queer person. They affect every aspect of your life. And so if there's someone who wants to take it to the next level, and of course, really evolve your relationship with self-discipline, come join us in Queer Quest Pro. I'm going to link it below. It's for you to find out the information, but we would love to see you there. We would love to see you there. All right, then. I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to leave this with a beautiful, loving information that I, came up with before today. And it is that you don't need to punish yourself into becoming who you are. You can love yourself there, step by sacred step. I'll repeat that. You don't need to punish yourself into becoming who you are. You can love yourself there where you are, step by sacred step. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of the conversation. Again, share what feels in your heart. I love hearing from you guys. And of course, as always, I will be back next week with another episode of the Queer Quest podcast. But until then, always remember that you've got this and I've got you. Bye for now.